What's going on, everybody? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash the hell out of that like button, you guys. And whatever you do, definitely subscribe. Okay? You guys want to donate, you can donate to the Cash App at Corey Lee Boxing. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk this boxing today, man. We're gonna definitely talk this boxing, man. Charlo versus Castano went down last night, man. It was a awesome showdown. It was a barn burner. Both guys came out and gave it their all. It definitely went late into the rounds like I thought it was. It's crazy, you guys. Like I said in the last video, I predicted this fight. There's my prediction right there. I predicted what happened. And let me break it down. From round one, Castano was trying to find his I would say Charlo was trying to find his range. And he did so. After a while he definitely found his range and he did well in spots. And cause Charlo was doing well too, and Castano was doing well too, leading up into, the ninth and tenth round. There were spots in this fight that, I thought that Corey, what's going on? But yeah, Kennedy, what's happening? There were spots in this fight, you guys, where I thought that Brian Castano could win this fight. There were spots in this fight that I thought that he was, he had did well in spots. But I was on. It was on. I feel like it was only a matter of time. Like how many thudding blows could Brian Castano stand? I mean, he was taking hellacious punches um, from Jamel Charlo. Um, and I just really think that was the name. That had a lot to do with what was going on in this fight, you guys. He took a lot of punishment in Brian Castano. I'm not sure if you guys know how much punishment he took or you guys weren't paying attention because I was definitely paying attention and he took a lot of blows to the head. And I would say round number 1 through 10, he took a lot of punches. So did Charlo. He took some punches as well. But I feel like a lot of the punches that Jamel Charlo was getting hit with was grazing shots. They weren't hitting them, 100% flush. I feel like a lot of the punches Jamel Charlo was hitting Castano with were flush shots, and it showed. It showed, you guys. It showed that Brian Castano has a tough chin, but after a while, even the best ones break, and what I mean by that is how many times can you get hit flush on the chin until your body says no mas? Yeah, so it's just like, I just think that his body just pretty much gave up for the amount of punishment that he was getting, hit with, and Charlo is a very thudding puncher. I don't think he believed this as much in his power in the first fight as he should have. I think he could have possibly stopped Castano in the first fight. He didn't know. He didn't. It was definitely evident that he didn't. And we see this now. This is what we see now. We see Charlo winning by devastating knockout in the 10th round, you guys. It was a devastating knockout that put him out. Castano, pretty much tried to get up. Um, the first time he did get up, then he got knocked down a second time in the 10th round. And the referee called it, as he should have. Like I said, it was a tough, grueling 10-round fight. Both fighters came to fight, though. I gotta give it to them. Both fighters came to fight. Um, and Castano doesn't have anything to hold his head about, you guys. After seeing this fight, I feel like Castano can still match it up with the best in the division. You got Sebastian Fundora and the right in the wings, just waiting for his chance, and Costa is waiting as well. So, you got both guys at 154, both lions waiting for their opportunity to fight. And I think both fights are I think they would do good, on network television. I think that to Costa fight, I think Jamel Charlo could probably for the first time, maybe go overseas and fight him in Australia. Um, I mean, if he's that confident, I mean, I'm just saying as a ticket draw and as a sale, But I mean, Jamel Charlo's a big sale out there in Texas. He gets a lot of love. He says, Corey, now we need Devin to win. Yeah, man. I mean, Jamel Charlo got the job done. Like I said, I predicted a 10th round knockout, and that's what he did. You know, that's what he did. He showed us that he could definitely get the job done, man. And I was psyched about that, man. I really thought that Brian Castano, you know, he showed that he had heart and determination, but you need skills to pay the bills. Come on now, you guys. I'm just keeping it real with you guys, man. You skills pay the bills, and at the end of the day, Charlo was not getting blasted away with some of those punches that Castano was getting hit with. Castano was getting hit with, you know, thudding punches, man, that could end any man at 154. I mean, the amount of power that Charlo engaged with, Castano in some of those exchanges could have put any man down at 154. Not just Brian Castano, not just Brian Castano. He could have put any man down. Okay? Shout out to Earl Spence in Man Down, because it was Man Down, aka Ice Season, for your boy Brian Castano. Yes, you guys. He got the ice emoji tatted on his forehead last night, man. I mean, he got ice, man, Hey, man, I give him an A for effort. I give him an A for, what I'm saying, trying it out and, giving his best shot and his best effort. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And like I said, skills pay the bills, and you have to have, the range. You have to have the jab. And another thing a lot of people haven't talked about, Jamel Charlo's jab. It's gotten better. It's gotten better, and I think in the first fight, I think Brian Castano kind of, fucked him up a little bit, because he had all of that energy and he had all of that aggressive style, where Brian Castano was coming in just guns a-blazing, not giving a fuck if he was getting hit back or not. And eventually that takes a toll on your body. 2 fights with Jamel Charlo. That means Jamel Charlo is 2-0 in rematches, and he's 2-0 with icing motherfuckers in the rematch. I mean, he is not playing any games, man. Jamel Charlo, man, I got to give him a big credit from Corey Lee Boxing, man, at the performance that he did, man. I'm very proud of him. I think he's humbled himself too. He said he found God. He said that was the difference in this camp. And hey, man, I'm all ears, man, from Jamel Charlo. And I think that, he got a little bit of the yes men away from him. You know what I mean? I think this camp was different. They said he weighed in at 152, so he was dialed in. And I think Jamel Charlo wanted this a whole lot more than Castano did, man. Jamel Charlo was willing to go out on his guard in this fight, man. That's what I feel like, man. I feel like Jamel Charlo was willing to give it his all in this fight. And what I mean by his all, I mean his last breath, like everything. And sometimes that's what it takes to win in these close fights, man. And some would say that the fight was close leading up into the 10th. Some would say they had Jamel Charlo winning. Whatever the case may be, Jamel Charlo did not leave this rematch into the judges' scorecards, into the judges' hands. And that's just simple as that. Smash that like button. We're going to go to the chat, you guys. How's everybody doing in the chat today? We got Kennedy in the chat. He says, Corey Lee back with another banger. Kennedy says, Corey, now we need Devin to win. Samuel Shaw in the chat. What's happening? What's going on, Samuel Shaw? How's everything going? He says, Tim, Costazu, not Costu. Hey, listen, man, if I'm butchering his name, my bad, man. Hey, man, give me a break, man. But yeah, Samuel Shaw says, salute at Corey Lee Boxing, Mr. Ice Season. Yeah, man. Let me get some of those ice season emojis, man, for Jamel Charlo, man, for putting on a hell of a performance for us and actually giving us that ice season that we love, man. And that we pay these subscriptions on Showtime and these subscriptions on the zone to see a dude get iced. I don't want to see any more decisions in boxing. I want to see 100% ice season in every fight. And when we do finally get iced, when the guy finally does get iced, I mean it's crazy. It's emotions that only true hardcore fans, and not even true hardcore fans, just casual fans too. I mean, knockouts. Everybody loves knockouts, and I think Jamel Charlo can bring that fun factor and that thrill back into the 154-pound division. Everybody doesn't have that skill to knock everybody out or to ice everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it takes for you to be good, and it takes for you to even be great to knock guys out that are already champions. Okay? I don't think you guys give a Jamel Charlo enough credit on what he did. He knocked out another champion for all the marbles, you guys. And he's done that, a couple times in a row now. He knocked out Rosario. He knocked him out flush. Um he's knocked out Tony Harrison, another champion, knocked him out flush. And now Castano, knocked him out flush. You know what I'm saying? Those are three champions right off the top of my head that Jamel Charlo did wonders with. Crypto Colors Machiavelli, what's happening, man? He says, "What's up, Corey?" Mason in the chat says, "At Corley Boxing, what's going on, man?" He says, "Crypto Colors says, what's good?" Samuel Shaw says, "Yes, Jamel's jab was a lot better. I was surprised." Kennedy in the chat says, "Even though the judges said they all thought Jamel was going to win." Wow. Yeah, man. It was a tough fight, man. It was a tough fight, man. Both guys are warriors, man. Both guys went in. They, hold your head high. I feel like it was one of them type of fights. But Jamel Charlo finally got the job done, you guys. Jamel Charlo finally got the job done, man. And I think a lot of people need to give him more credit for that. But moving forward, you guys, now that we gave Jamel Charlo all his credit, who does he fight next? That should be what we should be talking about now. Moving forward. The fight is over. The fight is definitely over. So who should Jamel Charlo fight next, you guys? Should he move up to 160 pounds? Should he stay at 154 pounds? Sometimes they say the grass isn't as greener on the other side, but you got to understand, man. At 154 pounds, you got a lot of fucking lions. I know Jamel and Jamal Charlo are lions only, but you got a lot of fucking lions in the cut waiting for these belts, man. Jamel Charlo is the man at 154, but for how long? You got Earl Spence, you got Terrence Crawford, you got Tim Costazoo, you got Sebastian Fundora. Those are four lions waiting in the range just to get these belts, you guys. And all of these guys that I named were at the fight except Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford said, and I quote, he says, "After I'm done with Earl Spence, I'm gonna get his cheerleader." I believe I'm paraphrasing the cheerleader part. He said something about his cheerleader something, and he said, "I'm getting him next," and that's Jamel Charlo. He said he's moving up to 154 after the Earl Spence fight, and he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight Jamel Charlo. Terrence Crawford versus Jamel Charlo would be a fucking barn burner. I think it would be a really good fight. I really do. I really, really do, man. I really do. Let me go to the chat, you guys. Kennedy in the chat says, "I don't know. Devin can do that, Corey, but he's going to obliterate Camboso." You guys got to understand, man. Devin Haney is going to Australia, man. That's different, man. That's different. Just that in itself is different, man. And I think that, a lot of people need to understand that, man. That's different, man. Just going out there and stuff like that, man. It's different, man. But as far as Castano goes, Castano's manager says scoring of the Charlos rematch is bullshit again, even worse than before. Wow. He says even worse than in Texas. So they got Brian Castano's they got his manager, they got his actual manager on here, you guys, saying that, you know, the scoring was bullshit. He says my comment on that bullshit again. Contorsi said even worse than in Texas. This is a joke. He says we didn't know until the press conference. Charlo 35-1 with one draw, 19 big wins by way of knockout. Castano 17-1 with two knockouts, 12 KOs. Fought to a controversial split decision in their first 12-round title unification fight last July 17th at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. One judge, Puerto Rican Nelson Vasquez, absurdly scored 9 rounds on that back-and-forth fight for Charlo, 117-111. New Jersey's Steve Weisfeld scored that belt for Castano, 114-113. And Nevada's Tim Cheatman scored it a draw, 114-114. Shout out to Kennedy in the chat. He says by points. Samuel Shaw in the chat says I think Jamel should drop the belts and move up and force his brother out of the 160-pound division. They're talking about he might move up, Samuel Shaw. They're talking about he might move up. So you definitely want to be on the lookout of that. Jamel Charlo might move up to 160. I believe Jamal Charlo is going to move up to 168. So I'm not sure how they're going to figure that out, but yeah. Castano said it was definitely a tough fight. I need to watch it, of course, but what I really like is the atmosphere, how the fans and the people got caught up in the heat of the fight. It's always a pleasure for me to transmit that to the fans. That's my style. Wow, man. Shout out to Keith Idek. He did an interview on Boxing Scene where Brian Castano just said that. But yeah, man, his manager said the scoring was bullshit. So now where do y'all rank Jamel Charlo? Do y'all rank Jamel Charlo on the pound for pound list? I think he should get some recognition on the pound for pound list. I think Jamel Charlo should definitely break the top 10. Some would say maybe even the top 5. Jamel Charlo, if you think about it, he has beaten everybody he's got in the ring with. I mean, that's a fact. He beat Tony Harrison in a rematch, which he lost, and he got things corrected. And I really think the first fight in both cases, in the Tony Harrison fight and in the Castellano fight, I really just truly think it was lack of focus, man, and not lack of focus and lack of preparing for these type of styles. Tony Harrison had a real a boxer puncher type of style. But his jab pretty much determined that first fight. I feel like Jamel Charlo hurt Tony Harrison a couple times in that first fight, and then in the second fight he really hurt him and got it all together. That was a late round stoppage as well. That's why I really think that Jamel Charlo comes on strong in the later rounds. That's why I predicted, you guys right here in the chat. Corley Boxing predicted that Jamel Charlo would knock out Brian Castano in the 10th round. I got that fight right on the money. So I don't want to hear about Corley Boxing. Don't know how to pick fights anymore. That's a wrap. Crypto Colors in the chat. He says, at Corley Boxing, what's good, man? Charlo versus Jerron Ennis. He said, "Let's go, champ." Hey, man, I'm not sure we're gonna see that fight, but we might. Nothing's out the realm of possibility at this point. Nothing is out the realm of possibility at this point. Anything goes. Anything goes, y'all. Kennedy in the chat says Charlo was winning. I don't think it was bullshit. Oh, okay. So you said Charlo was winning, yeah. But hey, the Brian Castano's manager said it was bullshit. He didn't like it. He didn't appreciate it. He thought it was, full of shit. He thought the judges was full of shit. And he voiced his opinion after the fight, man. He voiced his opinion, and he let the fans know, man. Let's see what everybody's talking about in Twitter and stuff like that after the fight was over, man. I didn't check that out Saturday night like I was supposed to. Let me go to the chat, you guys. Everybody in the chat are saying. Samuel Shaw in the chat says Jamel just won up undisputed. He has to be in the top 5 pound for pound conversation, no doubt. Yeah, man. Yeah, I would definitely put Charlo in the top pound for pound list right now, you guys. It's only right, man. It's only right. It's only right, man. You gotta put Charlo at the top 5, man. You gotta put him in it. You gotta not if not in the top 5, I can see I can see Charlo being in the top 10. If you can't put him in the top 5, please put him in the top 10. I feel like he deserves a top 10 shout out. You know, I feel like he deserves a top 10 shout out. Man, we've been getting some good fights in a row. We got the Bivol versus Canelo. We got the Charlo versus Castellano. They've been in some good fights lately, man. No cap. A lot of good fights lately, man. I love it too. I love it. I love watching these good fights, man. They motivate me to keep doing this boxing shit, man. Jamel Charlo won this shit, man. He won it fair and square, man. You guys got to give him his roses while he's still here, man. He's got an awesome team around him. Um, Derek Derek James is the brains behind all this shit, man. He's the brains behind getting Charlo in check and getting him right and him locking down after his car accident and stuff like that. And he's the brains of getting this rematch taken care of for for Charlo, man. He's the brains of this shit. And I feel like Derek James should definitely um, I think Derek James deserves a lot more credit, man. He came up with a really beautiful game plan, and I feel like Charlo executed it. Charlo wanted to box on the outside of most of the fight, and when it was time to attack, when he wore out Castellano, he knew exactly when to turn it up, and he did so in the 10th round. I feel like he turned it up more in the 8th, ninth, and 10th round. It was like I feel like the second half of the fight Jamel Charlo was definitely turning up a little bit more each a little bit more each and every round. He was willing to engage in the 10th round with Castano free of charge. He had no he had no concern on getting hit. I mean, he was really standing on his and locking up and tagging Castano, man. He was tagging him, man. He was tagging him. Let me go to the chat. Shout out to Charles D in the chat. Shout out to Boxing Monster. He says ice season is year round. Let's go. You can get iced in the summertime. Yes. You can get iced in the summertime. Yeah. Boxing Monster was happening. Samuel Shaw, Charles D. What's going on? Charles D says, what's up, though? No doubt. Crypto Color says, Corey, who do you want to see Jerron Boots Ennis fight next? I'm glad you got brought up the Jerron Ennis fight. That Jerron in his fight, man, it looked like, I'm not gonna say it was staged, man, but it looked terrible, man. I mean, this guy name is the War Machine. Costio Clayton is an Olympic Canadian, he's a Canadian Olympian, and that's pretty good. This is just not no, easy guy. At one point, Custio Clayton's manager thought Jerron Boots Ennis was ducking him. So it's like, dude, if you're thinking he's ducking him and then he does this to you, I mean, what the fuck is that? That's wild, dude. You thought that you thought that Jerron Boots Ennis was ducking Costio Clayton, and then that happened to Clayton? I don't think he was ducking him, dude. I think you just had to wait your turn in that situation. I don't think Jerron Boots Ennis was I don't think he was ducking him at all. And I mean, you could say the shot was behind the head, but you guys got to understand, Costio Clayton was putting his head down. It was like the same motion, the way it just happened. It just, he was putting his head down and he got hit like right behind the ear, and that put him down. But I would love to see, Jerron Boots Ennis fight Keith Thurman next, or either the winner with Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. I mean, Earl Spence said in a post-fight interview. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Let me see if I can show you guys this. I don't think I got it on my phone. Damn, I wish I could show you guys this, man. Damn. Cause oh, hold on, I gotta go to my videos. Hold up. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to show y'all this, but damn, I wish I could show y'all this clip I have. I had an Earl Spence clip I wanted to show you guys, man. Oh yeah, I might still have it. Here it is. Let's see if I can add it, you guys. Oh, it says it must be an MP4 file. Damn it. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to show y'all that today. But I wish I could though. It was a really good interview. That it was an interview that he did after the fight. Boxing Monster says we got the event of the year next. Tank versus Rolly. Yeah, man, Tank is gonna obliterate Rolly. I'm sorry, man. Any Rolly fans out there? I'm sorry. This dude getting knocked the fuck out. He's getting iced. Rolly might be on ice season greatest hits. I mean, because you can't even put Custio Clayton on ice season greatest hits because that was like a fucking rollover. I don't know what that was. He got up and it looked like he didn't have his legs, or he didn't want to have his legs. He didn't want to continue. I don't know if he was just there for a payday. Earl Spence said, and I quote, "It looked like that guy was here for a payday." But Jerron Boots Ennis did what he had to do. And that was ice, that boy. And that's what he did. Crypto Colors in the chat says, at Corley Boxing, you my boy, but Charlo win against that boy was not impressive. He's supposed to beat that boy. That is easy fight, you heard? No, it's not, man. Castano is not an easy fight. He got a draw with Laura. You know what I mean? Some say Laura beat Canelo. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. And that was a Laura. That was a Laura out of his. I mean, you can say that was a Laura out of his prime, man. That Castano fight, man. And he still got a draw. Some say he won that fight though. So some say Castellano won the first fight. So how can you say Crypto Colors that he was supposed to win when the first fight was a draw? The first fight was a draw. Come on now, Crypto Colors. You know the first fight was a draw, brother. You know that, man. And I mean, the more and more we talk about it, and the more and more I think about it, it was a draw. It was a draw. It was what it was. It was a draw. Let me see, man. Hey, man, what a day. 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 Probably been one of the longest days of my life, man. Let me see what you guys talking about on here, man. We're gonna go ahead and go put you guys. What's happening, you guys? We in the building, man. Corey Lee Boxing is in the building. You guys know that, man. Whew. Let's see what we guys got here. It says Crypto Colors is washed up. You think so? You think he was washed up? It says Lord Canelo, they old news, man. If Charlo had a draw with that boy, that means he's not an elite fighter. So you feel like Charlo is not an elite fighter. That's what you're saying right now, Crypto Colors. You're saying that Charlo is not an elite fighter. That's what you're saying. I mean, that's pretty much what you're saying in so many words, you know? Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. I'll be straight back. Hold on. Thank you guys so much for staying put. I'm gonna get everything straight now, so I can finish this live stream off, my brothers. Let's see what we got here. Okay. It says, I agree, Charlo is trash. um, Crypto Color says, facts. Boxing Monster says, Big Charlo, not Little Charlo. Whoa. Crypto Color says, Charlo is a B fighter, not an A fighter. He says he ain't no Mayweather. I mean, come on, man. Charlo is a good fighter, though, man. I don't care what nobody say. You guys can't put that shit in my head, man. I think Charlo's a good fighter, man. Can he beat a guy like Crawford if Crawford moves up to 154 pounds? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win that fight. Charlo versus Crawford. Crawford is light. Some people say Crawford's still light in the ass, man. Pause, but I mean that's just the way people are described and the way they perceive Terrence Crawford. Even at the 154 pound, I mean, even at the 147-pound division, they say he's light in the ass. So if you're light in the ass at 147, what you think you're gonna be at 154? But Crawford's still calling out guys at 154. And that fucked with Charlo. Charlo said, don't ask me another motherfucking question about Terrence Crawford because I don't want to hear it. He's not in my weight class, and I'm fighting Brian Castano. He said that. So, hey, man, I just think that, this guy, hey, man, he's got a lot to look forward to, man. But, Brian Castano, I just feel like, he didn't get it done. He didn't get it done. He didn't get it done. Um, Jamel Charlo's Twitter account, he says an hour ago, he says, if you still hating, I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, did you guys see that? What he just said? He says, if you're still hating, I don't know what else to tell you. Jamel Charlo says, I did my part. Now it's time for at Future Boxing to handle his end on of the bargain, and we got a solid Texas trio. Okay, okay. Dan Raphael says, knowing how Heyman and PBC work, almost a guarantee Charlo and Castellano got much more money than the contract total, for your information. Wow. Charlo retweeted that. Man, Brian, Dan Raphael is still commenting on that shit, huh? I thought he was done. I ain't heard from Dan Raphael in a minute. Um, yeah, I haven't heard from him in a minute. I didn't even know he was still doing media anymore. I heard he stopped working for ESPN. I thought it was a wrap after that. Jamel Charlo stops. I mean, he stopped him, man. You know, he stopped him. It's not too much more I can say about that. Jamel Charlo won. Let's see who else is in this weight class and who we could possibly fight next. Let's go to the top 10 rankings for 154 pounds. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here, you guys. You guys gotta understand, man. Charlo's gonna have his work cut out for him, man. There's some fucking lions at 154 pounds. That dude, Sebastian Fundora, whatever, he's a 6'5" and can make 154 and destroy Lubin. Did you guys see Lubin's face when he was done with him? Man, he says, Crypto Color says, that Corley boxing, Charlo is too good, but I think he's lacking in defense department. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that. I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand that. Let's see what ESPN got for the 154 pounds right now. Let's see what we got here. All right, you guys, at 154 pounds, these are the ESPN rankings, you guys, okay? We got number one, Jamel Charlo, okay? 35-1. 35-1-1. He just knocked out Brian Castano, KO win. Number two, you guys, this is the top five at 154. Number two, Sebastian Fundora at 154 pounds. This could possibly be Jamel Charlo's next opponent, you guys. 19-0 with one draw. Okay. His last win was April 9th against Erickson Lubin, a TKO in the 9th round. After that, number three, Brian Castano, which Jamel Charlo just beat in 10 rounds. After that, you guys got number four. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, you guys. I mentioned this guy earlier. You guys can't say I didn't mention it. We're going to actually go down to top 10. It's the top 10 list, excuse me. This number four, you guys, Tim, that boy Tim is climbing up the rankings. He did well against Terrell Gouchard on March 26th. He got a win, unanimous decision, and he is 21-0 with no draws. And he's ranked number 4 right now in the ESPN top 10 100 super welterweight division. Tony Harrison is ranked number 5, 29-3 with one draw. Last win over Sergio Garcia, April 9th. Tony Harrison is still a good candidate, man. Tony Harrison is still out there, but we've seen Jamel Charlo destroy Tony Harrison. We don't want to see that again. So next, Erickson Lubin is 24-2, just lost to Sebastian Fundora April 9th. Some say Erickson Lubin should possibly retire after that mauling that Sebastian Fundora did to him. Some people say he should retire. Crypto Colors says, if a boxer has a good jab and cold stick and move, would be it would not be that hard to beat Bud, Spence, or Charlo. It's easier said than done. I'm gonna let you know that right now, Crypto Colors. It's easier said than done. A lot of people tried and a lot of motherfuckers failed. Straight up. Number 7 on the ESPN top 10 rankings, you guys. Israel Mattermov, 35-3 with 1 draw. He just won by TKO in the 9th round over Michelle Soro. That's a good win. Soro's a pretty good fighter, man. I've seen him fight a couple times. He just beat him on December 17th. Then you got Liam Smith, number 8, 31-3 with 1 draw. I believe he was a former champion at this 154-pound division. Obviously before Charlo got into, or before Charlo was a champion in the division. It says he beat Jesse Vargas on April 30th by 10th round TKO. Michelle Soro, like I told you guys earlier, he how the hell is it saying they both won? It's saying Michelle Soro beat Israel. That's a misprint. On ESPN rankings right now, they say they both won the fight. Michelle Soro won by TKO 9th round, and it says Israel Mattermov won by TKO 9th round as well. That's a misprint. Magnuma Korbanov is ranked number 10. He's 22-0, and he just beat Liam Smith May 7th. Never heard of this guy. Who is this guy at number 10? He's 22-0. He was ranked at number 8. I want to see what his record is. I never heard of this dude. He says, Corley Boxing, who has a real jab in boxing right now at 147? Jerron Boutenis. Earl Spence. I would say Terrence Crawford's jab is probably one of the better jabs at 147, though. I think he's got an elite jab. He's got a world-class jab. And I feel like he could be danger for anybody. Okay, this guy Korbanov looks pretty good, man. Magnomed Korbanov. Oh, he does MMA too, I think. It says he was in the Eagle FC 45. He got MMA gloves on, I think. So does he do MMA too? I think he does, you guys. I'm not sure. But he's 22-0. He's ranked number 10. This guy right here. This guy right here. He's ranked number 10 in the world, you know? I don't know. I'm butchering the fucking camera. But he's ranked number 2 in the world. I mean, number 10 in the world. His nickname is the Black Lion, and he's from Russia. Guy looks like the goods, man. Affiliation RCC Academy. He was date of birth 1995. He's 26 years old. He's 22-0. Career earnings, they don't know yet. And he's a boxer. So yeah, man. He said a canceled bout. He hasn't fought since 2021. Damn. Canceled bout against Patrick Teixeira. They were supposed to fight. Patrick Teixeira, I believe, is promoted by Golden Boy, which doesn't surprise me of a canceled bout. They were supposed to fight actually twice. They were supposed to fight in 2021, in December 11th, and in 2022, March 26th. Both fights got canceled. So yeah, we gotta watch out for this guy, Magnamed Korbanov at 154, you guys. He says, Corey, can you demonstrate how a jab is supposed to be for us? You gotta hold your hands up, man, and you just gotta you have to. Your jab is supposed to be your jab is supposed to be a whole lot of things. It's supposed to be a range finder. It's supposed to be, your lead hand. It's supposed to be a lot of things bottled in one. That's why some people use their jab. They use their power hand as their jab. I'm left-handed. So I'm a southpaw. It's tough for me to fight in the southpaw stance because I'm so left hand dominant. But I got over it after a while. Just keep jabbing with your right hand, um, and a lot of practice, man, a lot of practice. So I can only imagine a guy like Terrence Crawford being so good and so ambidextrous, with he's good with both hands. I can only imagine how much training hours he's done. How much hours and hours of training and just you know just working in gym, man. I mean, Terrence Crawford is a dog, man. That's why I think he'll do good against Earl Spence, man. I would love to see that fight. But yeah, man. At this point, I think we covered the fight. We've almost burned for 46 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. And we'll be back with another banger, you guys. The merch is available, so you guys can DM me at CorleyBoxing at gmail.com, or you guys can get at me on Instagram at CorleyBoxing. And yeah, man, can you jab like Ali? Mason says, can you jab like Ali? Now, I can't jab like Ali, but you know what I mean? If I stand up, I can do a pretty good jab, man. I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm okay. I can hold my own amongst all the media members. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much for watching, man. It's been 46 minutes of fun. I appreciate you guys checking out Corley Boxing. Like I said, if you guys want to donate, you can donate to Corley Boxing at Cash App. And yeah, man, thank you guys so much for watching, man. We'll be back with another banger. Peace out, you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. He said too much muscle. Let's go.